Okay, let's unpack this. What if the real roadblock in managing your weight isn't just about calories in versus calories out? What if the trillions of microbes living in your gut, yeah, trillions, hold a surprisingly powerful influence that, well, we're only just starting to really get?
Yeah.
Could it be that stubborn weight has less to do with pure willpower
Hmm.
and more to do with the balance of your internal ecosystem?
That's exactly where the latest research is pointing. It's fascinating. Today, we're doing a deep dive into what many are calling a really pivotal connection, the link between your gut health and weight loss.
Okay.
We're drawing on some really compelling recent findings. Our mission here is just to break down this complex topic and pull out the key insights about how this massive community of microorganisms, your gut microbiome, really shapes your weight.
So for you diving in with us, let's quickly paint a picture. Your gut microbiome is this, well, incredible collection of roughly 100 trillion microorganisms,
Yeah.
mostly bacteria.
Right, in your digestive tract.
And get this whole community weighs between 2 and 5 pounds. That's like comparable to your brain.
It is. And here's something else. It contains more genes than all of your human cells put together. It's often called our forgotten organ, but it's incredibly active.
Forgotten organ, I like that.
Absolutely. And it's crucial to know that everyone's microbiome is unique, like a fingerprint, really. It's not static. It's this dynamic ecosystem shaped right from birth.
How so?
Well, how you were born, C-section or vaginally, that matters. Breastfed or formula-fed, that matters too. Then you add in your diet, stress levels, medications, especially antibiotics. They can be a huge factor.
Antibiotics, yeah.
Your environment, even how well you sleep. It all feeds into it. Think of it like a complex inner garden, constantly changing based on, well, everything.
And like any garden, I guess, that balance can get thrown off, can't it?
Yeah.
Which brings us to this idea of dysbiosis. What exactly is that?
Dysbiosis basically means your gut microbiome is out of balance. It's when the beneficial bacteria might be outnumbered by less helpful ones, or maybe the overall variety, the diversity just drops.
Okay.
And this kind of disruption can have ripple effects. And like we're exploring today, one potential outcome is, yeah, problems with weight management, maybe even gaining weight.
Right. So we've got this huge, unique, and maybe easily unbalanced world inside us. Now let's get specific. How exactly does this gut microbiome mess with our weight? Our sources mention a few key ways. Let's start with metabolism regulation.
Yeah, this is really insightful. These tiny organisms actually help digest our food and critically extract energy from it.
Right.
But different types of bacteria are, let's say, more or less efficient at harvesting calories. So your specific gut makeup can literally change how many calories your body pulls from the very same meal.
Wow.
It really challenges that old idea that a calorie is just a calorie for everyone. You know, your microbes sort of dictate how much energy you actually get.
That's a massive shift in thinking. And there was a really compelling study involving mice you mentioned earlier from a major journal.
Ah, yes, that was a key piece of research. Basically, researchers took gut bacteria from obese mice and transferred them into lean mice. These lean mice were germ-free, meaning they had no gut bacteria to start with.
Okay, a blank slate.
Exactly. And the result was striking. The lean mice started putting on a significant amount of weight. Even though their diet didn't change, their activity didn't change.
Just from the microbes.
Just from the microbes. It strongly suggested the microbiome itself has this independent power over metabolism, like it's tweaking the body's energy settings.
That's mind-bending. It really shifts focus from just the food to the community processing it inside us. Okay, so mechanism one, different gut bugs, different calorie harvesting, got it. Now, cravings. Because, let's be honest, who hasn't had that sudden, intense urge for something sweet or carby? Seems our gut buddies might be pulling some strings there, too.
Precisely. Think about it. Specific gut bacteria have their own favorite foods. Some, for example, absolutely thrive on sugar.
Yeah.
And to make sure they get fed, they can actually influence your cravings to make you reach for those foods. It's like they have a subtle nudge influencing your taste preferences.
Like microbial puppet masters. It's a bit creepy, but fascinating. And the research we looked at detailed how they might do this, right?
Yes, several interesting possibilities. One idea is they might directly tweak our taste receptors, making that sugary snack seem even more appealing.
No.
They might also produce certain substances that make us feel a bit off until they get their preferred fuel. There's even evidence they can sort of hijack the vagus nerve, that big communication line between the gut and brain, sending signals that drive those cravings.
A vagus nerve, okay.
And maybe more subtly, they can affect our mood, nudging us towards comfort foods when we're feeling low or stressed.
So that intense sugar craving after a tough day might not just be emotional eating. It could be your gut bacteria yelling for their dinner.
Could be part of the picture, yeah.
Yeah. That definitely adds another layer to why breaking bad eating habits is so hard. You're fighting your own urges and potentially the demands of your microbes.
Exactly. It adds another dimension to why lasting dietary change is such a struggle for some people.
Okay, let's move to the third mechanism. Fat storage and inflammation. This sounds like another really critical piece.
It really is. Your gut microbiome plays a huge role in regulating inflammation levels throughout your body. And inflammation is tightly linked to how your body stores fat.
How so?
Well, we know some gut bacteria tend to promote inflammation, while others are more anti-inflammatory.
And why is inflammation bad for weight?
Chronic, low-grade inflammation, not the kind you get with an injury, but this constant simmer is strongly linked to obesity and metabolic problems.
Okay.
When your gut bacteria are out of whack, it can trigger these inflammatory responses that contribute to things like insulin resistance. That means your body doesn't respond well to insulin, leading to higher blood sugar and more fat storage, especially around the middle.
Abdominal fat, right?
Yeah, and it can fuel metabolic dysfunction, even leptin resistance. Leptin's the hormone that tells you you're full. If you become resistant, you might not get that stop eating signal properly.
So it's a vicious cycle, potentially. Our sources mention specific bacteria types linked to obesity?
Yes, studies often find generally higher levels of bacteria from a group called firmicutes. They tend to be more pro-inflammatory, and lower levels of another group, bacteroidetes, which are often more anti-inflammatory in people with obesity.
Firmicutes and bacteroidetes, okay.
Now, it's complex, the specific strains matter too, and overall diversity is key. But yeah, this kind of imbalance can feed a cycle. Inflammation promotes weight gain, and that extra weight can further disrupt the gut, leading to more inflammation. It's tricky.
Okay. So metabolism, cravings, fat storage, inflammation, all influenced by these microbes. Now, what about the gut-brain connection, that communication highway?
The gut-brain axis. This is where it gets really interesting. Your gut and brain are constantly talking to each other. It's a two-way street, complex signals going back and forth all the time.
A superhighway, you call it?
Kind of, yeah. And if your gut microbiome is disrupted, it can cause major traffic jams on this highway.
How does that happen? What kind of traffic jams?
Well, an imbalanced gut can mess up this communication. That might lead to an increase in stress hormones like cortisol.
Cortisol, the stress hormone.
Right. And we know high cortisol can encourage fat storage, especially that stubborn belly fat. It can also mess with your sleep. Poor sleep then affects your hunger hormones, often making you hungrier and craving junk food.
It all connects?
And mood disorders are closely linked too, which can lead to emotional eating, less motivation to exercise. It's all tangled together.
And the gut itself actually makes mood chemicals, doesn't it? Like serotonin.
That's absolutely right. Something like 90% of your body's serotonin, that key mood regulator, also involved in appetite and sleep, is actually produced in the gut. And gut bacteria play a big role in that production.
90%?
Yeah, it really highlights how directly your gut health impacts mood, appetite, sleep, all massive factors in weight management.
Wow. So a grumpy gut can lead to stress, bad sleep, low mood, and more eating. It really is all connected. Now, for you listening, maybe you're thinking, some of this sounds familiar. What are some signs your gut might be getting in the way of weight loss?
There are definitely common signals. Number one is probably stubborn weight loss or gaining weight easily, even when you feel like you're doing the right things.
The classic plateau.
Exactly. Also, those intense cravings we talked about, especially for sugar or processed foods. Digestive issues are a big one. Persistent bloating, gas, discomfort after eating, or irregular bowel movements, constipation or diarrhea.
Good. Digestive stuff makes sense. Anything else?
Yeah, beyond the gut itself. Things like feeling tired all the time, even if you think you're sleeping enough. Skin problems can be a clue. Acne, eczema, rosacea sometimes have gut links.
Interesting. Skin issues, too.
Frequent food sensitivities, mood swings, poor sleep quality, even getting sick often could suggest your immune system, which is largely based in the gut, might be compromised due to imbalance. It's worth reflecting if several of these ring a bell for you.
That's quite a list. I bet many people recognize at least a few of those. So if the gut is playing a role, what can we do? Our sources mentioned gut tonics. What are they, and how do they supposedly help with weight?
Yeah, gut tonics. Think of them as specialized blends designed specifically to help rebalance your gut microbiome, aiming to support healthy weight management. They usually go beyond just a simple probiotic.
How so?
They typically combine probiotics, the good bacteria, with prebiotics, which are like food for those good bacteria, and often other bioactive compounds that support overall gut health.
Okay, so more comprehensive than just popping a standard probiotic pill. How do they actually help with weight loss then?
They work on multiple levels, hitting many of the things we've discussed. First, they aim to rebalance your bacteria, bringing in beneficial strains to help crowd out the less helpful, potentially inflammatory ones.
Makes sense.
Second, many have anti-inflammatory ingredients to help cool down that chronic inflammation cycle. They can also help repair the gut lining, addressing that leaky gut issue often seen in weight struggle.
Repairing the barrier. Okay.
Plus, they might support digestive enzyme production, helping you break down food better. And some can help modulate appetite hormones, like ghrelin and leptin, helping normalize hunger and fullness cues.
Ah, the hunger hormones.
And finally, by creating a healthier gut environment, they can help reduce those intense cravings for junk.
It sounds like a really targeted strategy for that inner ecosystem. What kind of key ingredients should people look for in a good gut tonic, based on what we reviewed?
Our research highlighted a few key things. You want specific probiotic strains studied for weight management, like Lactobacillus gasseri, Lactobacillus rhamnosus, and Bifidobacterium lactis. Those names kept coming up.
Gasseri, rhamnosus, lactis. Got it.
Then prebiotic fibers, things like inulin, FOS, resistant starch to feed the good guys. Digestive enzymes can be useful. Anti-inflammatory compounds like omega-3s, curcumin from turmeric or ginger.
Oh.
And sometimes gut-soothing ingredients are included, like L-glutamine, aloe vera, or marshmallow root to help that gut lining integrity. And look for the CFU count colony-forming units that tells you how many live bacteria are in there.
Right, CFU. Good tip. It really does sound like a multi-pronged approach. Now, theory's great, but what about actual results? Our sources had a couple of case studies. Let's talk about Sarah.
Right, Sarah. She was 42, a mom, struggled with weight for years, tried diets, exercise, you know the drill, lost some weight, but always hit plateaus, regained it.
Sounds familiar for many.
Yeah. So she learned about the gut-weight link and started a gut healing plan, including one of these specialized tonics. Within weeks, she noticed less bloating, fewer cravings, more energy, better digestion.
Wow, quick changes.
And over 6 months, she lost 34 pounds. Importantly, she picked it off. The biggest internal shift was likely reduced inflammation and just feeling better digestively, making healthier choices easier.
That's fantastic. Really shows the potential for sustainable change by addressing the gut. What about Michael?
Michael was 56, a stressed executive, had metabolic syndrome, belly fat, even though he thought his diet was pretty healthy. His doctor was talking medication,
Okay.
but Michael wanted to try a gut approach first. He added a gut tonic, made some moderate diet tweaks for gut health. In 3 months, lost 4 inches off his waist.
Cool itches.
Yeah. Blood sugar improved, he felt less stressed, and his inflammation markers on blood tests went down. His doctor was apparently quite impressed, started looking into gut health more for other patients.
These stories are really compelling. They suggest that, for some people at least, focusing on the gut can make a real difference where other methods fell short. So if someone listening wants to try a gut-focused strategy for weight loss, where do they even begin? What are the steps?
It's kind of a step-by-step process. First step, often called remove, is about minimizing things that disrupt your gut. We're talking ultra-processed foods, artificial sweeteners, too much alcohol, unnecessary antibiotics if possible.
Okay, get rid of the bad stuff.
And also trying to manage chronic stress and reduce exposure to environmental toxins where you can.
Okay, remove disruptors. Step 1. What's step 2?
Step 2 is replace. This means adding back things that might be missing for good digestion. Maybe digestive enzymes if you have trouble breaking food down, maybe support for stomach acid if needed, and definitely ensuring enough fiber from whole foods.
Replace what's missing. Got it. Then comes adding the good guys back in.
Exactly. Step 3 is reinoculate. That's where you actively introduce beneficial bacteria. A quality gut tonic fits right in here with those specific strains we talked about. Good CFU count, prebiotics included.
Reinoculate with good bacteria. Makes
Yeah.
sense. What about the gut lining itself, repairing that barrier?
Yep, that's step 4, repair. This focuses on healing and supporting the gut lining. Things like bone broth or collagen can help. L-glutamine supplements are often used. Plus, foods rich in zinc, vitamin A, vitamin D, they all support gut barrier integrity.
Repair the lining. Okay, 4 steps. Is there a fifth?
Yes, step 5 is rebalance. This is about your overall lifestyle. It's crucial. Prioritizing sleep, managing stress. Think meditation, yoga, whatever works for you, getting regular moderate exercise, even just spending time in nature, all these things impact your gut health.
Remove, replace, renoculate, repair, rebalance. Sounds like a really holistic plan. Now, I bet people have questions. Our sources tackled some common ones like, how long does this actually take? When do you see results?
Yeah, good question. Well, you might notice some changes like better digestion or fewer cravings in, say, 2, 3 weeks. But for significant deep rebalancing of the microbiome, it usually takes longer, maybe 3 to 6 months of consistent effort. The metabolic shifts often take time.
So patience is needed. Okay, what about diet alone? Is just eating better enough, or do you really need supplements like a tonic?
Diet is absolutely the foundation. Can't skip that. But if your gut is really out of balance to start with, using a targeted supplement like a gut tonic can definitely speed things up. It's like hitting a reset button versus just relying on maintenance fuel.
Like a catalyst. Okay. And probiotics, you mentioned specific strains. Are all probiotics good for weight loss?
No, definitely not. It's very strain specific. As we said, Lactobacillus gasseri, Lactobacillus rhamnosus, Bifidobacterium lactis, those are the ones with the most promising research for weight management right now. A generic probiotic might not have the same effect at all.
Good to know. Look for those specific names. What about hitting that dreaded weight loss plateau? Can fixing your gut help break through?
Yes, absolutely. An imbalanced gut can create what's sometimes called metabolic resistance. Your body just seems to fight against losing more weight, even if you're doing everything right. Addressing the gut can often unlock that resistance and help get things moving again.
That could be a game changer for people stuck there.
Yeah.
Finally, is this sustainable? Is it a long-term fix?
That's the goal. Because it addresses root causes the inflammation, the cravings, the hormone imbalances rather than just surface symptoms, many find it is very sustainable. Once your gut is healthier, maintaining a healthy weight often becomes easier, more natural. Your appetite regulates better, cravings lessen.
It sounds like working with your body, not against it. Okay, let's wrap up this deep dive. What's the single biggest takeaway here about the gut and weight?
The main thing, really, is that your gut microbiome plays this crucial, often overlooked role in your weight. It's not just calories in, calories out. It's about these trillions of microbes influencing your metabolism, cravings, inflammation, even your brain signals.
So there's a real paradigm shift, isn't it? Moving from just counting calories to thinking about this complex ecosystem inside us.
Yeah,
Working with our biology.
exactly. And the bonus is, focusing on gut health isn't just about weight. You often see knock-on benefits. More energy, clearer thinking, better mood, stronger immunity, just better overall vitality. It's holistic.
So for anyone listening who struggled with weight, tried the usual things. Maybe the answer isn't just trying harder, but looking deeper, inside their own gut.
It could very well be. And this isn't just a fad, it's based on biology. Understanding this gut connection might just be the missing piece for a lot of people on their weight journey.
This whole field exploring the gut microbiome, it really offers a new way of looking at health, doesn't it? Suggesting that taking care of our inner world, our microbes, is fundamental to a healthier, more balanced life overall. It's a fascinating area to keep exploring. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive today.